and welcome to the Hollywood Fringe Festival at the Broadwater Second Stage. This theater and bar, located on the unceded lands of the Chumash and Tongva peoples, whose ancestral care and stewardship we recognize. In the unlikely event of an emergency, please note that your exits are back the way you came in, or through the door behind the curtain in front of you to your right. Please put your phones and watches to silent and no texting or messaging. For this particular show, you're welcome to take photographs, but please, no flash. Fringe moves fast, so be sure to take any programs, water bottles, or trash with you as you promptly exit after the show. Also, the best way to support the Fringe shows you love is to leave them a great review on the Fringe website. And thank you for supporting live theater in Los Angeles. Now, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then, there was something. But it was boring. Until business! Age-old exchange of goods and services for money. Some call it capitalism. It changed the world and set us on a course that we're still on to this day. But in the modern version of digital networking, people are lost. People are scared. Who will help them? Who will guide them towards the light? Who is the only man with both a master's degree in business and a severe interest in musical theater? Please, welcome to the stage, your host for tonight, the one, the only, David Business. I'm here to jazz up your week. Oh, baby, if you are feeling lost in career, well, David Business is here, yeah. I am the prophet that you seek. I am the prophet that you need. I'll give your resume speed. Oh, baby, baby, hit your heads to my ship and hold on tightly with grip, yeah. I am the prophet that you need. I am the prophet you desire. I'll set your enterprise on fire. Well, baby, no need to fear, 'cause David Business is here. Just hit your heads to my ship and hold on tightly with grip. Yeah, revenue high on there, 'cause I am the prophet that you need. Yeah! Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And welcome to LinkedOut with me, David Business. Give yourself a round of applause. It's great to see you. Today, we are here to go on a journey to become the corporate warriors you were born to be. Now, I myself am a little farther down this road. Am I at the end yet? No. Do I know when that will happen? No, and no one will tell me. But I'm farther down the road, and I just want to help you avoid the pitfalls that I myself fell prey to in my career. But this is LinkedOut, baby. It's a capitalist affair, so there's one obvious question. What do you get? What do you get out of this show? Well, you get to learn from a business maverick, you get the opportunity to blossom, and hey, take a look to your left, take a look to your right. Welcome to your new network. Let's give it up. And everyone in the audience on LinkedIn after the show. Now, what do I get? Well, first and foremost, I get your money. And I'm not giving it back. I also get the chance to share my story. Some of you know who I am. Some of you have seen me on LinkedIn. My name is David Business. But if you don't know who I am, well, I'm an aspiring C-suite occupant. I'd love to be a chief executive officer, CEO, COO, CFO, but any C is good with me. I'm also a LinkedIn expert, self-accredited. And I'm a die-hard innovator. You know, when something needs to be innovated, I can't stop myself. It's like a piece of chocolate cake. I just got to get after it. And my fun fact I tell at parties is that I'm very curious about bugs. Mostly, how do they work? What are they up to? But as I mentioned in my song, I have an MBA, that is a master's in business administration, meaning not only do I know business, I also know how to administer it. So in some ways, I'm a doctor. In other ways, I am not. But in some ways, I am a doctor. Now, you heard me sing at the top of the show. You've never seen Tony Robbins do that, I don't think. So why music? Well, as one of my favorite chief innovators, Mary Poppins once said, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. And as a musical theater teacher once told me, if you can't say it, sing it. I'll give you an example. Jeff, you're fired. Oh, that sucks. But check this out. Hey, Jeff, you're fired. See what I mean? Now, in addition to my degrees and accolades, I've also had quite the career. Let me run you through a couple of highlights. I was the Zoom meeting manager at Cold Stone Creamery, management executive at Grubman and Hoop, barista at Starbucks in Palo Alto, and I was, I was CEO at a company that I thought was Goldman Sachs. It turns out it was a company called Goldman's Sack. Hey, but you gotta try, right? But my first job out of college was as a financial analyst for Busch Gardens. And I know what you're thinking. Wait, no, David, no. Oh, wow. What does a theme park need with a financial analyst? You're right. I was actually hired as part of the janitorial staff. But like many men in America, that was not enough for me. So I marched right into the office. And I said, Bill, I am happy to be a janitor here, but I am going on a path. I am going on a journey. And I will also be your financial analyst. You do not need to pay me any different, but I am doing it. And do you know what he said? He said, I'll never forget this, David, I don't give a fuck what you do, as long as the trash goes out on Friday. That was all the permission I needed. I was off into the park for weeks, looking for causation and correlation, regardless if they made any sense. That's not how progress is made. I was looking at data points. How did it affect the bottom line? How did the basic salinity of the popcorn served affect the deck structure of the new ride? How did the general welfare of the reptiles affect basic pricing and ticketing? And after weeks and running computer systems raw, I developed a tome of data and placed it on Bill's desk. Do you know what he said to me when he saw it? He said, David, you're fired. I had forgotten to take the trash out on Friday. But is that so bad? I had done something amazing at the cost of something else. Well, I wallowed in it. But if I hadn't gotten fired, I never would have gotten my next job as the crypto keeper at Spooky Crypto. This is a job I had with the literal devil. And we worked with some cursed seed capital to develop a kind of spooky coin. And like many ventures, it collapsed. But, it was an early crypto venture, and I never would have had that experience had I done my job right at Busch Gardens. Now, I'm going to quick pause here. I felt a change in the air. What is happening? What is happening? We were talking about MBAs, then the devil came up, right? Look, it's all part of it, right? The seminar has a basic structure. Define the experience. We're going on a journey. And then I confront you with my qualifications. I've worked with some big wigs, okay? I've had some real experiences. And then for the rest of the seminar, we're going to explore the digital. And then we'll move on to the physical. And finally, we'll talk about the most important piece of all, how to monetize that personal growth, right? So let's start, not with me. It's been enough about me for a little bit. Let's talk about you. How do you feel about your career? How do you feel? If you're here, I don't know, do you feel LinkedIn? Do you feel like you're part of the flow? Do you feel in control of your own destiny? Or if you don't feel LinkedIn, maybe you feel LinkedOut. That's the name of the show. Yes. solution is to what?
LinkedIn.
Yes, exactly. Get LinkedIn. And I don't mean the metaphor I was talking about before. I mean literally go to www.com.linkedin, you know what I mean? And get on there. But if you don't know what LinkedIn is, because some people have a hazy perception of it, here's how I define it. LinkedIn is the world's premier business social networking platform that allows you to grow your network via the exhibition of your emotional state as filtered through the linguistic specifics of modern business vernacular. That's a mouthful, right? Well, what does that actually mean? Well, let me break it down. So LinkedIn is part career, part social media. So on Twitter, you might say, the yogurt I like doesn't taste as good as it used to, right? That's the personal. But then, to a career counselor or someone in your office, you might say, I want a career in supply chain logistics. Do you feel the difference there? Do you feel that space? Doesn't it suck that that space exists? But on LinkedIn, you can combine both. Say something like this. I'm frustrated with the quality of yogurt, seeking a mentor to help me learn about quality control and shipping logistics so I can save my snack. Hashtag what you love, hashtag what you control. Yes! Finally, business and personal are one. You don't have to be anything else. Your career and your habits can all be one. But that's what LinkedIn is. Why LinkedIn? Right? There are many things available. Why choose it? Well, I think the answer to that question lies in the name, LinkedIn. So in is obviously better than out, right? Any college freshman will tell you that. And the next word is link. What does that make you think of? Well, let's free associate a little bit, okay? Link makes me think of this guy, right? Makes me think of Link from Zelda, Amazing Adventure, going on quests. That's cool. Makes me think of the Mighty Lynx. Prowling the tundra. I mean, yeah. And then it also makes me think of Lisa Kudrow. And here's what I just did. I did what many people in business tell you you can't do. It's called an A to C. That's where I jumped from one point to another point without showing you the math in between. Linked, L-I-N-K, kind of Lisa Kudrow. You know what I mean? That's how I got there. And I do this because there have been many times where I have not shown my work in business, and people get frustrated. But I say this: if you can A to C, you can B to B. The person you want to be and see in a world. Business 2023. Let's give it up. But the most obvious link is links in a chain, right? Building your network. Turn those links sideways. What do we got? Corporate ladder. Right? And those links in a chain, the reason LinkedIn is so powerful is because you can go outside your own personal network and grow a global network, and most importantly, monetize that network. But how do you make connections on LinkedIn when you don't know someone personally? I mean, you can friend randos. I've been doing that for years. That's one strategy. But if you really want to become influential on LinkedIn, you must post. Here's an example of mine. Imagine if we'd given Enron the chance to rebuild. I don't think we give corporations the second chance we give other people. Hashtag empathy. Corporations are people. Look, I know what you're thinking. I don't have anything to say, David. I'm scared. I don't have a personality. What if I post something and no one likes it? Posting requires confidence. You just got to get out there. Half the stuff I post, I don't even know what I wrote. And then I read it later, and I force myself to believe it, okay? But the point is, I'm getting it out there. And if you struggle with confidence like I did, let me tell you something. You don't need to have confidence. Because there is no difference between having confidence and pretending to have confidence. If someone asks if you belong, just say yes and tag along. You will surely prove yourself in time. If someone needs solutions now and you're not sure you know how, just do anything and act as if you're right. Because as long as you believe what you're saying to be true, you can have your cake and eat it too. If you believe that you believe, that's all you need to succeed. Fake it till you That is slow. They want experience, at least 5 years. So why not just say that you have it? Just reach out and grab it. It makes no difference to me or the world. If you believe that you believe, that's all you need to succeed. Fake it till you make it, as they say. 'Cause it's a scientific fact that if you smile and just act, you can manufacture confidence with ease. Now impossible beef tastes no different to the teeth than a patty raised on a Minnesota farm. And that imitation crab, and that it ain't half bad. You never know the difference in the dark. Some people call it lying. I call it really, really trying. And if you ever get caught, say, I did not say that. If you believe, it's all you need to succeed. Fake it till you make it, as they say. 'Cause it's a scientific fact that if you smile and just act, you can manufacture confidence with ease. Come on, clap, believe. Oh, that you believe. Oh, if you believe. Ah, that you believe. If you believe. David Business, as read by me, David Business. To B2B or not to B2B? That is the question. Remember, without innovation, no one would have taken a bite out of Apple. Hashtag huge thoughts, hashtag business is life. Knock knock. Who's there? Your career. Breakfast is corporate strategy. Who needs therapy when you got a one-on-one scheduled with your manager every week? Slap that like if you know what I'm talking about. I walked in on 2 people fucking in the break room. Many people look down on outsourcing work. To those people, I pose this simple question. Do you have the same critique of Hamburger Helper? I hope to meet my wife on LinkedIn. Today I got so excited thinking about marketing that I fell out of my chair. Remember, if a company actually had to pay interns, they might not be able to afford them. Hashtag makes you think. Are K-Cups destroying the moral fabric of the modern office place? The only sin you don't need to repent for? Synergy. Today I was fired from Grubman and Hoop. I asked if I was being let go and they said, no, you are straight up fired. I appreciate their clarity. If you start the day with courage to believe in yourself, you can end the day a real business boy. And now, back to the show. Thank you. Now, before we finish up with LinkedIn, I want to let you know something. A lot of people hide a lot of their personal experiences from LinkedIn, but all job experiences are valid on a resume. So, I'd like to ask, would someone like to share with me a summer job that if you were perhaps applying to a job in supply chain logistics, you might not put on your resume? Just a simple summer job you had.
Donut maker.
What, a donut maker? Okay, so number one, you're comfortable around intense machinery, right? So you also are able to translate a customer's request into a direct product. That's great, right? And then, first and foremost, you know how to have fun in a culture based around service. So that's great. Anything else? Any other jobs?
I was the team leader of Ring Toss at an amusement park.
You were team leader of ring toss at an amusement park. Okay, so number one, you were part of a team in a giant structure. That's true, right? And you were able to follow rules, right? And able to appropriately deliver, so there were deliverables, right? Which were the rings. And when placed properly, there were certain assets that were then delivered to the customer, right? So you both have customer experience, you're also comfortable with pay structures, yeah? So anything else? Any other job? Yeah.
I worked for a wildlife sanctuary and brought turtles and snakes to birthday parties.
Okay, so you've networked with Mother Nature. Number two, you're very comfortable around risk. That's true, right? And there's snakes everywhere in business. So if you put able to handle snakes, I mean, that'll get you any job. Do you see the power in that? And how every life experience can be valid. My resume is littered with stuff that people told me should not be on there. But it's on there. Okay? Now, once you have your LinkedIn, how do you measure the success? Well, you have the number of likes on posts, new connections, and messages from spam bots, aka AI allies. I also realized that earlier I may have skipped a slide where I talked about key performance indicators for this show. I'd like to quickly go over that for this show as well. How do we know if there's any success? So for yourself, the digital media, we have number of likes on posts. For this show, we're looking at EPM, right? That's enjoyment per minute. I think we're all doing that right now. We're looking 1-to-1 ratio. Also, PB&J's, personal breakthroughs and jog hops. At least 1 to 3 per show. If you don't get one, come visit me outside. I'll give you one. And this is very true, and I think it really ties into what I was just talking about. NURS, N-U-R-S. This is unnecessary, uncomfortable realizations of failure. If you're the right candidate for this show, it should be near constant. Okay? But in the digital world, the KPI we're looking at, the number of likes on posts, et cetera, et cetera. So, that's it. We're saying goodbye to our digital avatar. Because LinkedIn will only get you so far. Eventually, you have to go in person. So it's time to say hello to the physical you. The most important question when we consider not how we want to show up on the internet, but who do we want to be, is what do you want to be? I'll tell you a story. I was at a co-worker's Thanksgiving, and I was sat at the kids' table. It's not important why. And I began the interaction, as I do many, just handing out my business cards, saying, what industry you work in, how are you doing today? And, you know, I got chatting with this 7-year-old Tyler, and we're talking about sweet potato casserole and various shows on Nickelodeon. And I just say, Tyler, what industry do you want to work in when you grow up? And he says, David, I want to be a ninja. I just laughed. You know, internally, I mean, what does this kid know? That industry's gone. Feudalism in Japan, it's not around anymore. There's no health care, murder's illegal, pay's probably awful, it's kid work. I mean, Tyler. But I didn't say that. I'm not mean to children. I said, Tyler, why a ninja? And he said, because, David, I want to move so fast, no one can catch me. There it is. That's the truth. It hit me. I was so mired in the specifics of a career as a ninja, I hadn't looked to see the broader truth. Moving so fast, you don't get caught? A career in avoiding consequences? That's a whole corporate division. He's got a bright future ahead of him. So my mind started racing at this realization. I started talking to the other children. Denise, what would you like to be? Little conversation, little conversation, little conversation. We got from princess to real estate and wealth management. I asked another kid, Bruno, what would you like to be? An astronaut. Little conversation, little conversation, little conversation. He's comfortable with high risk in the metaphorical abyss. These children had beautiful corporate ambitions hidden beneath the specifics of their childhood dreams. So I tell you this, when you think about what you want to be, abstract it and dream bigger. Okay? There's a truth behind your wants, and it's bigger and it's more abstract. But if you want to succeed at whatever you do, you must become a leader. You have to. If you want more control, if you want more power, if you want more autonomy, you have to go up the ladder. But I warn you, the pursuit of leadership has shown me something that, let me just say, it's called the infinite daddy paradox. Now, if we view manager as daddy, right? If we view them as above us in control, it seems as you go up the ladder, there is a seemingly infinite number of daddies that seem to appear above you, and it becomes maddening. And with conglomerations and mergers, and if you believe in a pantheon of gods, the top is not achievable. So what do? We make org charts to make ourselves feel better. But the infinite daddy paradox states that this head of company, head of life, doesn't exist. It's impossible to achieve, which makes the truth this. We're all little grubs. We're all little grubs beneath the foot of the dead daddy paradox. But I don't know. I don't think grub is a bad word. I don't think being a little bug is gross. Because what's the creature that actually eats decaying matter and turns it into something beautiful and reusable for the world? It is the grub. What is the piece of the machine that actually turns the wheel? It's the cog. And the pawn in the game is the one that gets to move to first. These are not dirty words. What is gross is the optics of a grub. Being a little bug, you know? Being a little gross bug. No one likes that. So you may be a grub, and that's okay. But you act like a leader. Fake it till you make it. Now, how do you act like a leader? It's hard to talk about in the abstract, so let me give you some specifics. You should act like Steve Jobs. Bold. Give him the iPhone. Stubborn. It's not going to work. Yes, it will. Divisive. We don't need external competition to motivate. We turn people inside the company against each other. He did it, and it worked. Or you can be like Elizabeth Holmes. Optimistic, relentless, unrealistic. Am I going to jail? No, she is. If science tells you your idea will never work, you say, I don't give a shit. Henry Kissinger gave me $6 million. Sorry for cursing. Or be like my boy Mark. Sneaky, deflective. Did you create technology that undermined American democracy? Who, me? Remember when we talked about Tyler? A career in avoiding consequences? That's Mark. There's a career for everyone out there. But as you've no doubt tracked, my favorite thing about Mark is a unique feature. He's hilarious. And I don't mean laugh at. No. Laugh with. And a lot of people in business are afraid to be funny. And that's because there's this hypothesis that if you're funny, you can't be respected as a leader. And that's not true. You can be, but it requires you siloing your personalities. Okay? Here's what I mean. When you're in the boardroom, you're a wolf. You're bloodthirsty. You're crazy. You're tight to take no prisoners. And then the moment you cross, I mean the moment your foot exits the boardroom into the break room, become affable and light. Honey! And then, once again, the moment your foot crosses into the bathroom, you become quiet, mission-driven, intense. Right? And what it requires is showing up the correct way in each place. Be consistent, right? If they know you're going to be this way in each place, you're allowed to be it. Now, warning. The pursuit of leadership, because it's going to open you up to emotional turmoil, because you're going to be leaving your comfort zone. And the truth is, no one likes to see aggressive emotions in the workplace. They don't want to see you cry. They don't want to see you freak out. So what you have to do is something I call emotional origami. Here's how this works. I'm going to run a little firing simulation. This is perhaps the time in which you are the most vulnerable to becoming emotional in the workplace. Your dreams have just theoretically been crushed. What I need someone to do is just, guys, I'm volunteer, very simple. You're just going to tell me that I'm fired. Would anyone like to do that? Thank you. Just on the count of 3, tell me that I'm fired. 3, 2, 1.
You're fired.
It sucks! You worked so hard! You worked so hard! Activate the origami! Fold it in! Like a beautiful paper crane moving past the face. Clear it from the face, right? Push it down. Thank you for the opportunity to grow elsewhere. Now see, you obviously can't do that in the room. That's almost worse than just reacting. But you can practice this at home. Give yourself bad news, and eventually you can always just do it internally. Now, the question is, how do you measure physical success? With something I call the WFAF. And WFAF is worried emails from friends and family. If you are changing into a leader, if you're changing into a leader, people are going to say things like, whoa, what's happening? Why aren't you showing up at stuff? Why are you yelling? You know? That's good. Concern is the metric that you use to track track true leadership. Now, let's review. You're on LinkedIn, you're posting, you're acting like a leader, your emotions are origamied into submission. What do you do then, right? Well, I'll tell you. You have a vision. You have a vision. And it could be for a company, it could be for a product, it could be for a new industry, it could be for anything. And you take that vision and you monetize it. But at my seminars, there's always a question I get asked. It's, David, what do I do if I don't have an idea? I'll tell you.
Hello?
Hi, David. I was just curious. How do you have a business idea? It must be really hard, right? You have to be like a genius or something?
Not at all.
Well, all right.
Business ideas seem like a mystery, but genius can be hacked. So listen up and see. You take an enterprise that's hot, plus a space that they're not in. You smash the two together and watch the cash roll in. It's quantity, not quality. When it comes to your ideas, just keep throwing bullshit at the wall till the masterpiece appears. It's quantity, not quality. When it comes to your ideas, just keep throwing bullshit at the wall till the masterpiece appears.
Oh, okay, I get it. So like a fish and a skateboard.
Not exactly. Let me give you an example. It's the idea of IBS. It's a DoorDash for a kiss. It's the Instagram for things with hands. It's Theranos but with kiss. It's Facebook but for birds. It's Siri for Alan Rock. It's the ABC of NFTs or an Uber just for ducks. It's Salesforce for busy worms. It's Tesla but for ham. It's the Robin Hood of Johnny B. Good for another crypto scam. It's Apple but with oranges. It's HelloFresh with wood. It's Microsoft but it's micro hard and they don't ask if they should. It's quantity, not quality. When it comes to your ideas, just keep throwing bullshit at the wall till the masterpiece appears. It's quantity, not quality. When it comes to your ideas, just keep throwing bullshit at the wall till the masterpiece appears. It's the idea of IBS. It's the DoorDash for a kiss. It's the Instagram for men with bigger hands. It's Theranos but with piss. It's Apple but with oranges. It's HelloFresh for wood. It's Microsoft but it's micro hard and they don't ask if they should. And then you pray that one of your ideas takes you to where you seek. But you must break your mind, body, and soul to reach this hallowed peak. And now, an intimate business confession from me, David Business. Today is March 4th, 2023. Today in a meeting, I shit my pants. At first, everyone heard it, and then everyone smelled it. It was clear the room was about to go from silent to deadly, so I did the only thing I could think of to do. I stood up and I said, "This is how the customer feels. When we promise 3-day shipping and get it to them on day 4, we might as well fill their pants with molten hot shit." Everyone was confused. They asked me questions like, "So David, you did this on purpose? You shit your pants on purpose?" And I doubled down. I just said, yes, I did. And I will continue to do it every meeting until we as an organization learn to put stakeholders before shareholders. Hashtag when life gives you lemons. Hashtag hashtag make innovation lemonade in it. Innovation lemonade. Hashtag make hashtag business. And now, back to the show.
You can come up with the greatest idea in the world, but what if the world isn't ready for it or they don't understand? You have to persevere, okay? My favorite example of this is Henry Ford. Now, Henry Ford said if he had asked people what they wanted, they would have said a faster horse, not a car. They didn't know what a car was. But do you know what Henry didn't do? He didn't go, oh, faster horse. Okay. Well, I guess I'll stop making the car then. He didn't do that.
Yeah.
No, he didn't go, why is he faster horse? What does that even mean? He didn't go, faster horse. No. He persevered and he made people understand. Now, if you remember, worked for a company called Spooky Crypto. And I worked with the literal devil. And during that time, I learned how to network with the dead. Some call it summoning. So I've chatted with Henry before, and I think he's a real hoot. Would you all like to meet Henry? Is that something? Yeah. Great. I don't know what I'd do if you said no. Oh, all right. Let's begin. We start by drawing a circle on the floor, the laser pointer, the portal through which Henry will enter the stage. We inscribe an F connected to pentagram, the symbol of the CEO. Now repeat after me. Monolith Teacus.
Marvelous Teacus.
Henrius Fornicus.
Henrius Fornicus.
Come to us, Henry.
Come to us, Henry.
Come to us, Henry.
Come to us, Henry.
Monolith Teacus.
Marvelous Teacus.
Henrius Fornicus. Monolith Teacus. Henrius Fornicus.
Behold, it is I, Henry Ford, builder of an empire. You would be nothing in me, Los Angeles. What would you be on horses? Big dick smelly dog horses! I built something beautiful! And what do you give me in return? I know what's happened to Detroit. You let my empire crumble! After I gave you everything! No, you needed your Japanese imports and your electric vehicles! When I get out of this circle, I will kill all of you. First, I will kill David. Have you been listening to what he's been saying? He's a fucking clown. He's nobody! Cold Stone, Busch Gardens, he's fucking stupid! He's delusional, he's nothing, and he never will be! Men like me kill other men to get what we want! We don't fucking post on LinkedIn! We didn't need LinkedIn! You just trampled over the bodies of other men! What you did! So David business. Oh, someday I will creep in through your bones, and I will inhabit you, and you will be seen as the fool that you are. And all of you will be culpable. No, I'm staying. No, when I get free, it will all be over for all of you. Don't you understand?
Let's give it up for Henry Ford. That didn't go how I thought it would. I heard what he said too. Normally he's nicer than that. I'm trying to. Pretty blunt, huh? So give me a second. You know what? What time is it? Let's just get through this. Let's just finish this out. I don't want to do this. Okay. Yep. Okay. Next slide. Okay. Well, I'll just leave you on this. You know what? He's bright. He's bright, man. I know what I look like. I'm not stupid. I want to be a CEO. Why is that bad? And why hasn't it happened? Why haven't I had the CEO of Apple? Or the CEO of anything or anything. I've been trying so fucking hard for so fucking long. And I'm just doing this. And I'm not doing everything I said. That's Henry. Oh, God. This isn't even the first time a ghost has yelled at me like that. So I don't need to be CEO of Apple. I just don't want to be where I don't know. I know this is kind of a lot that's happening right now, and it's undermining a lot of what I said earlier. But I've been on LinkedIn and posting, and my name wasn't always David Business, and you try and manifest, but eventually your vision board starts getting sepia tone from all the sunlight, and just. But I don't know, why is it, I can't stop, because I'll never know, right? If I don't keep doing this, I'll never know if I'm going to be the CEO of Apple. I don't know. It could happen. It could, you don't know. I just think, this happens, okay? This happens from time to time. You start to feel down. A ghost yells at you and tells you you're an asshole.
Yeah.
And when that happens, maybe it is important to feel it a little bit. But then you pick up the pieces and you do the most important thing in the corporate world. You circle back.
Yeah.
I send you an email, you don't reply, and I'm just left here wondering why. Do you not respect me? Do you think I'm a clown? Can't you see I'm working hard to make my way up and out of this town? 'Cause I'm worried when it all ends that I won't have made my mark. That all of my career will have been some existential art. The lack of their reply only validates my fears. But I got to keep on pushing on and make myself clear. So I'm circling back to force their hand, yes, and get a reply. Yes, I'm circling back to do something great before I die. Yeah. Whew. For our last discussion, hey, there's no rush. But if you could get back to me sooner rather than later, that'd be great, 'cause I'm about to bust. Do I come off desperate? Do I seem in pain? 'Cause when you're banging your head against the wall, you can start to feel insane. 'Cause I'm worried when it all ends that I won't have made my mark. That all of my career will have been some existential art. And the lack of their reply to force their hand and get a reply. Yes, I'm circling back to prove to myself that I tried. But what happens when you get a response? When you go into that job interview and you're one of the top candidates and you don't get it, or you don't like the response, I'll tell you what you do. You take that response and you bank it for later. You take what you've learned and you circle right on back. And you keep going and going and going until you're done. Not when someone else says you're done. Okay? Just keep circling back. Force their hand and get a reply. Yes, I'm circling back to prove to myself that I tried. I've been David Business. Thank you for coming to